Family, welcome back to our YouTube channel on English language tutorial videos. Today we are continuing with our lessons. And who can remember what we learned the last time? Nouns. But what in particular did we learn about nouns? Noun numbers. That is right. Now, noun numbers are very much important. And that's the reason why we are going to still talk about noun numbers. Today's lesson is lesson 3. Now let me give you a bit of a refresher on what we've learned the first and the second lesson. We've learned about nouns, what are nouns, and we said nouns are the names of anything. Names of things, names of places, names of animals, names of ideas. And the second lesson that we learned, we said that noun numbers are noun numbers because they comprise of either 1, 2, or 3. We said nouns must have numbers because if you talk about names of things, you must have either 1, 2, or 3, or more than that. So this is very important to learn because nouns are just like human beings. Nouns are just like things. Nouns are just like ideas. Nouns are just like places. In fact, nouns are those. So we interact with nouns daily. So you will know the importance of this lesson when we deal with today's lesson. Nouns are very much important, especially noun numbers. So in English language, we are going to use nouns to understand sentences, how we structure sentences. But today's lesson is a bit deeper in nouns. Because as you can see, lesson 3, we are going to learn about irregular plurals. Irregular. So what do we mean by that? Then it means there are regular plurals? Yes, it is just what we've learned the last time. What did we say about plurals? We said that when a singular word is changing to a plural word, that is noun, we just add an S to the singular noun. That's what we said. And that is true, but that is generally for most nouns. But how about if we have nouns like brushes, brush, box, men, baby, women, woman? Now don't get confused. We are going to learn about all of these. How do we form irregular nouns? Why do we say they are irregular? Because they defy from the first rule that we add S to singular nouns to make them what? Plural nouns. Now in this case, we have 5 rules that we are going to learn under this. 5 rules. And these 5 rules, all of them defy from the first one that we've learned. I guess you memorized that very well, and don't forget about it. That most of the nouns are made plural by adding an S to the singular. But here now, we are learning about irregular nouns, meaning they are not regular. They don't follow the pattern of adding S to the singular to make it what? Plural. I just guess that is very clear. Now, let us read the author's explanation. He said, for the plural of most nouns, we add S to the singular. But there are some that make their plural differently. That is exactly what we mean by irregular plurals. Nouns that end in a hissing sound. That is the first rule that we are going to learn about irregular plurals. How do we form irregular plurals? We follow these 5 rules. Now, the first one said, nouns that end in a hissing sound. Hissing. Hiss means shh. I guess you're not scared because that's the sound that the snake makes. Something like that. Or ch, or ch, or z. Okay? So nouns that end in a hissing sound. Example, noun that end is in sh, ch, or x, or z. Or others call it z. Make their plural by adding es. So if a noun ends in sh, ch, o, x, or z, we make it a plural by adding es. Now let's look at some examples, some illustrative examples. Singular, plural, and we can see there on the other side of the table singular and plural. So brush, brush ends in a hissing sound. Brush, you can hear that brush. It ends in sh. So how do we make this word plural? The word tells you, hey, I am not a regular noun, okay? I am an irregular noun, so you get to change me differently, okay? You get to make me plural here differently. How? You have to add es to me because I end in sh. It's like the words are talking to you. These are the rules. Put them here, okay? Make sure that they're inside because that's the rule. The rule is the rule. Now, we add es to the word brush to make it what? Brushes. Let me view that a little bit. Now, box, it ends in x. What do we have to do? We have to add an es. How do we do that? We say boxes. Boxes. Boss. Boss. We add bosses. Bosses. Boss. Boss. We add bosses. Okay? Bosses. You add es to the word to make it plural. Simply because the word ends in sh, either sh or x or s, s or z. Now, let me give you an example of a word that ends in z. Example, quiz. Quizzes. What do? You just add an s. Okay? So, you can see this inch. Inches. Fox. Foxes. Watch. Watches. Church. Churches. Now you can see the difference. We don't just have to add an s. Instead, we have to add es. Pretty clear. Now, we are moving to the second rule. The second rule says, some nouns that end in o form their plurals by adding es. We just add es again. But again, some, not all, some. Okay? So you will get to understand that deeper, probably when we go to book 2. But you don't have to worry about that. For now, grab the information, the foundation that I'm giving you. This is enough. As a beginner, it's enough. So, let's take a look at some illustrative examples. Singular. Potato. What did we do? Potatoes. We just add es. Why? Because the word ends in o. Hero. Heroes. We add es. Why? Again, because the word ends in o. That's the rule. The rule is the rule. Another example says cargo. Cargo. cargoes, cargoes. Okay, so hero, we go again. I've said that one. Mosquito, mosquitoes. Okay, mosquitoes. What did we do? We just add an es to the word to make it a plural. Now, moving to our third rule. It says nouns that end in F or FE generally change the ending to VES for the plural. Is that clear? Nouns that end in F or FE generally form their plurals by adding ES. Oops, that's a mistake. By adding VES. Why? Because the nouns end in either F or FE. Let's take a look at illustrative examples. Example 1, leaf. We say what? Leaves. Why? Because we added what? VES. And the reason being what? The word ends in what? F. So all nouns that end in F, nouns that end in F are made plural by adding VES to the word. Remove the F and put there what? VES. Now, half, halves, halves. Wolf, wolves. We remove the S and put there VES. Wife, wives. Knife, knives. Thief, thieves. Pretty clear. I like this lesson. This lesson is interesting. Did you know that many English speakers, even professionals sometimes, find it difficult to form plural words? So if you're able to grab it from this foundation now, you don't forget about it. Put it here. Again. Okay? We are moving. Now, going to our fourth rule of forming irregular plurals. Some nouns that end in Y change the Y into IES for the plural, not nouns that end in AY, EY, OY. They add S. Example, tres, donkeys, boys. Listen, this book is very, very, very powerful. The reason is because it gives you deep information, but at the shallow level of explanation. Yes, I mean, it gives you very important information at a very shallow level of explanation. See this. It says, words that end in Y. We change the word to an irregular plural by removing the Y and adding IES, but not words that end in AY, meaning there is a vowel letter before the plural, before the Y, rather. That's a mistake. So there's a vowel letter before the Y. Okay? As in tre. We say tres. We add only S. The reason is because before the Y, there is A. Now the vowel letters, you should know now by now. But in case if you do not know, you can ask for me to write them on the comment section later. O, U, I, okay, E. So these are vowel letters. Okay, these are vowel letters. O, A, E, U, I, Okay, these are vowel letters. I'm just giving you an example. But if you need more information, you can write on the comment section, so I'll just write it down there. Now, as you can see here, it says if the word ends in AY or AE or EY or OY, you don't remove the Y and add EIS. What do? You just add S. Now we're going back to the first rule. That is because a vowel letter is before the Y. Is this clear? I just want this point to be clear, firmly clear here. Okay, I think you get that. Now, listen. Be wise. You need to be very wise. Baby. Babies. What is the last word before Y? B. B is a consonant letter. It's not a vowel letter. Okay? So, the rule follows. You remove Y and put there AES. Babies. Lady, ladies. Fly, flies. Army, armies. City, cities. Body, bodies. Okay? So you can see the difference here. But now how about if I say boy? And boy ends in Y. The rule says no. Boy is not part of it. Boy is not part of it. Why? Is because A is before the Y in boy. Sorry, O rather. Okay? O rather. So because of O is there before the Y, we say boys, not boys. I don't know how that would sound, definitely. So you can see how difficult it would sound if you just want to remove the Y and put there IES. It doesn't sound logic, even by pronouncing it. So the pronunciation probably is the reason why grammar says no. Okay, you're gonna do that. It's not possible. I guess that is clear. Now moving on to our fifth rule. The fifth rule is very important. It says a few nouns don't follow any of these rules. Yes, this one is more stubborn. It's telling you now, okay, you come with your rules. All of these rules I am not part of now. I'm not part of all the 4 rules that I mentioned. I'm the 5th one. I'm special. I'm special. Let's take a look at examples. Here are some of the commonest ones, some of the commonest examples that we can learn. Man. Okay, what is the plural of man? Mans? No. And I'm telling you, many people make this mistake. They say mans. Womans. You know, some mans and some womans? Be careful. Don't say mans. Don't say woman. Say men or women. Why? Is because of this rule is different from all the other 4 rules that we've just learned. Okay? It's more irregular. I can call it, yeah, if that is correct. Yeah, it's like this word is more stubborn. It's telling you, no. You cannot just change some part of me. You can either change more of me, okay, and leave just a little, okay, or you just leave me like that. You just leave me like that. You can either change, yeah, let's say the whole of me, or leave the whole of me, but you're gonna just take a chunk of me and leave the other part. Yes, you can see that in man, the word changes to what? Men. The structure change to men. Okay, woman, it changes to what? Women. Okay, child, it changes to children. Now, don't say children's, because the word children is already in the plural form. It's an irregular plural. Okay, foot, feet is the plural. Okay, ox, oxen is the plural. Tooth, teeth is the plural. Goose, geese is the plural. Mouse, mice is the plural. Sheep, sheep is the plural. Yes, sheep, sheep is the plural. Deer, deer is the plural. So this word is telling you you're going to leave me the way I am, or you change the whole of me. That's what I meant by that. Because if you look at the word sheep, sheep is the plural. You leave it the same way. This word is strong-headed. And there are more, like information. Okay? Information. There's not like informations. You don't add an S to the word information. News. You just leave it that way. News, news, news. Either being plural or singular. You leave it that way. So you don't say news or newses. No, come on. You can say that. It's impossible. Okay? Now that we've learned all these 5 rules, you have to put it in your mind that these rules work according to grammar. The rules are the rules. Okay, so let's take some exercises. A. Write the plural forms of these nouns. Box, hero, potato, church, brush, fox, inch. 2. Half, knife, leaf, baby, love, lady, donkey, fly, wolf, day, thief, army. Okay. 3. Woman, child, tooth, man, deer, goose, sheep, food. Okay. Write the singular forms of these nouns. I'm not going to do anything about this because all the examples that we've been taking are just, going to be used for this exercise. So you can do it on your own. I believe so. You should be able to do this on your own now. Write the singular forms of these nouns. The singular forms of these nouns. What are these nouns? These nouns are in the plural form. So you are going to change them to the singular form. Okay? So it's like doing the reverse of exercise A. Good. So you can see them. You can see all of them, okay? You just change them to the singular back. Now, exercise G says, change the nouns in the following sentences from plural to singular. Notice a or an with singular noun. When the plural does not have the. So you have to be careful of the article a, an, and the. Because whenever we say a, it means it is one. Okay? It means it is one. The also means it is one or plural. It could be either of them. The boy, the boys. Okay? So, example, soldiers stood outside the houses. Okay, what do we do here? These are singular. I'm sorry. Let me check that again. These are plural nouns. Plural nouns. So we are required to change them into the singular. Where it says, soldier stood outside the house. A soldier stood outside the house. What did we do? We just removed the S there because this was the first and firmest rule that we've learned. Number 1, the nurse worked in a hospitals. The nurses worked in hospitals. We just removed the S. The nurse worked in a hospital. Here we use a. We are going to add the word a, the article a, because now it is singular. The cats caught the mouse. There's a mistake. The cat caught the mice. So the word cats and mice are in the plural form. We want to change them into the singular form. What do? Cats, we just remove the S. Cat. the cat. Mice, we're changing the whole word to what? Mouse. It is more irregular. It is the most strong-headed. It's part of the most strong-headed words, if I might call it that way. The countries did not have armies. Oh, but before that, the boys had knives. Knives. The boy had knife. A knife. A knife. The boy had a knife. Okay? The countries did not have armies. The country did not have an army. An army. Why an? Because the word army begins with a vowel again. Vowel, that is A. The word army begins with A, that is army. A-R-M-Y. So that's why we're gonna say a army. It doesn't even sound well when you pronounce it. Okay. So the countries did not have, or the country did not have an army. The leaves fell from the trees. The leaf fell from the tree. So you continue with this exercise and you find it very much interesting. Make sure that you do all. H. Look again at the short story on page 9 and put all of the singular nouns. I'm jumping again. You know how that works. Whenever I guess that you understand now, I just jump to the next, because I'm cognizant of time here. So we are going to look at the story, the short story again, to cure a headache, and put all the singular nouns. Go back to page 9 and you'll find the story again, that beautiful story. I'm sure if I become a nurse, I will not do that. Okay. It says put the singular nouns in one column and all the plural nouns in another column. How do you do that? Let me just give you an example, because we did that. Cool. So just like this, or let me give you this. Now here you can see singular, plural. Put them like this. Put all the words that are singular on the singular column and those that are plural on the plural column. Right, we continue. Now, C. Did I jump here? Well, that was bad. But okay, still, we can just come to exercise C. It says, what do we add for the plural to nouns that end in a hissing sound? You tell me. What do we add for the plural to nouns that end in a hissing sound? Give me an example. Very simple. That was the first rule that we learned. The first rule said, if the word ends in SH, CH, either of these, or X or Z, we do use ES to make the singular word plural. Very simple. How do some nouns that end in O make the plural? If a word ends in the plural, again, some word, example potato, we add ES again to make it word plural. And you're going to give examples. Make sure that you give examples, okay? I'm so glad with some of my students, some of my followers who are doing very well, and they're just sending me their assignments, and I'm so excited that they're doing very well. Okay? So, we continue. E. If a noun ends in F or FE, how do they generally make the plural? You remove the F and put there VS. Knife. Knives. Wife. Wives. Wives. Okay? Good. So, F now. Here I'm going to help you a little bit. It says, change the nouns in the following sentences from the singular or from singular to plural. Notice that plural nouns do not have a or an. Example, the farmer had a dog. Answer, the farmers had dogs. Now here what are we doing? We are just changing these singular nouns to plural. And that is what we've learned. Come on, you can do it. Now let me give you a tip from example 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 and then to 5. And I will stop there to give you a chance to also do some things on your own. Let me pause this video for a while and make sure that Alright, I just want to make sure that I give you a guide on exercise F. So again, it is change the nouns in the following sentences from singular to plural. The boy. Number 1. The boy had a knife. Okay. This word here ends in FE, as we can see. The answer would be the boys had knives. What did we do? We just added VES and removed the FE. Now again, the child came into the room. The children came into the rooms. And what did we do? We changed this word completely. We added REN. Came into the rooms. And in this word, we added an S. Cool. Now, the man looked on the shelf. Here, I made a mistake by writing the plural form of it. That's why I just, drew that line. But now we can say, the man looked on the shelf. Now this word, we can observe that the word ends in F. So what can we do with this to change it to the plural form? We change it to the plural form by adding VS and removing the F there. Now the men looked on the shelves. We added VS. Again, number 4. Number 3. Yeah, that's number 4. The lady gave the key to the girl. Now, the word lady is a noun. But this noun here is an irregular noun. The fact that it ends in Y, we have to change it to plural by removing the Y and adding IES. So we say, the ladies gave the keys to the girls. And girls here change to the plural by adding only S because this one is a regular noun. Okay, so moving to our last exercise. The cat caught the mouse. Now, if we want to change the noun cat to plural, we will add just an S because this one is a regular noun. But how about mouse? If we want to change it to a plural noun, we must change something here. Because this word is an irregular noun. So the structure has to change. So we say the cats caught the mice. I like that. The cat caught the mice. Okay, these are the words or the letters that changed. Here, S changed. Or we just added an S. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention to give you a bit of a guide. Good. So we may continue now with